mentioned before the open contact.
Yes.
And of course, I jump into this
Because
I know that I have a lot of children. Especially I have contact to 3.
Yes.
And especially to 1, to Vainanda.
Yes.
Yeah, and I would like to know, how will it happen? How is it here on Earth? Has it to be hidden because other people can't stand the energy from her, or I can't stand the energy from her? How is it with these different levels of energies?
You are in a gradual shift, you understand, from a very strongly and thoroughly splitting Earth to one where eventually you will see more reflections of the energy frequency that you're consistently choosing to be on yourself. You understand? So the idea, which has been mentioned before through our brothers of the Sasani, the one also that you call Bashar, yes, as has been before as a metaphor called the splitting train tracks, that is a very beautiful and fitting symbol to picture this in your mind. There is a station, yes, a train station, and the tracks are moving in many, many directions. But the further they move, the further they are apart from each other as well. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So the ones, let's just say there are many obviously, but the ones on which open contact in that sense, in the physical realm, will take place on your Earth, will be connected to a certain amount of these train tracks, but not to all of them. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So where you are right now, this splitting process is accelerating. So the train tracks are moving further apart. You may have noticed in your own life that it has become potentially tougher or harder to stay in touch with particular people.
Yes.
Okay? So
I split it with a lot of them.
yes, so there you go. So within your personal creation of your version of the universe, your Earth, because this is all personal, though you may choose to continue to co-create a version of Earth when you are, for instance, partners or family members or lovers. So in your personal creation of all that is, you have chosen to create the experience of seeing people move to the background, perhaps naturally and gradually, or perhaps with a little bit of shaking. Yes?
Yes.
Now, the amount of, let's say, people that move gently, gently, almost hardly noticeable to the background, and the amount of people that, quote unquote, demand from you that you take a stand, almost, depends per person. So depending on your personal life's theme of exploration, you will bring in powerful co-creators just as excited about exploring this physical dimension as are you, though you may not every day remember it, perhaps. And they will co-create with you situations that allow you to get to know yourself better. So that's how you come back to this know thyself element always, infinitely. You will get to know yourself better and better and better. So by looping, you could say, whatever your process is that's going on within you, and then bouncing it back off your quote-unquote environment, your creation of seemingly the world around you, will bring you reflectors that help you grow in the way that is most relevant for you. So people that, this is a little side branch, we will get back to your hybrid kids, don't worry. People that bring into their world's manifestation, into their own creation of life, a lot of these more harsh reflections often need to learn a thing or two about standing in their own power, speaking their own truth, you see. And they will bring in some people that push a few more buttons for them to remember where that core truth within themselves actually lies and what it looks like and what it feels like and how they would like to express it more clearly. This is why sometimes you may bring into your world people that truly get under your skin and it just won't stop, or it seems like that. So that you can really very nitty-gritty define what it is that annoys you so much about them, because whatever that is what wants to be seen about you. You see, you're allowing yourself to look under the carpet and see what's hiding there in the foundation of your foundation, the most core underlying beliefs, and whether they are fear or love based. So with this splitting of the train tracks, a lot more of that is going on. Your decisions, we're choosing our words carefully here, but you could say your decisions weigh more profoundly. Whatever you choose now has a grander reflection power, let's put it that way, in every single here and now. So when there is even the tiniest little thing in the background that is off, you could say, in your beautiful, well-oiled machine with many, many gears rotating just perfectly fine, if there's one off, it will stand out more to your higher self. It understands you have the heart desire to move on that train track that is 100% in that sense in alignment with who you understand yourself to be in every single here and now, and to express that freely and openly. So you will bring yourself more in your face reflections of what wishes to be seen, so that you can course correct yourself more effortlessly on that journey, you see. So as long as humanity is playing around with these things that you all use to get to know yourselves better, there will be groups of people that are on train tracks that are, you could say, on the edge of allowing themselves to move into the direction of open contact, or not so much. This is what it depends on, mostly, right now, as we scan the energy frequency at this moment. It depends on why you desire that particular idea, that manifestation in your own life. Now, why would that be for you? Why do you desire open contact and your version of Earth? Be it with your hybrid children or any other, you could say, ET being or energy frequency. What is your strongest motivation for that? If you choose to answer, we can take it into the equation, if you like.
It's love.
It's love.
Yes.
So, how exactly?
It's love for my children. I have never seen them, only in my inner vision.
Okay.
And I feel very close to them.
Yes.
It's depending. Sometimes they are more far away, and sometimes they are very near.
Yes. So you know this already?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Was something else following after that?
It's another reason is curiosity. I'm really very curious about other beings.
Yes. Enthusiastic.
Yes.
To know
I
more, to
was
discover.
this already, because I know that I was on ships and I had a good
Yes.
time there. I have never had the feeling that it was very heavy and I don't have these memories. I only have emotional memories, not really whole stories, but I have the feeling I had a very good time there.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
And
So
I would love to go again in this direction. And to
why?
have,
Because you believe that if you do, you will feel that way again? Is that what you're saying? We're digging here a little bit with you.
No, that's not true. No, I have the feeling also without it.
Okay.
Not all the time, but...
So nothing is depending on
No,
it.
it's not that that I'm missing something because I feel bad.
And if somebody were to tell you now, you're on a train track that leads to a very beautiful future version of your Earth, but it just won't include the actual physical contact, then how would you feel? What would you think? We're going there on purpose, obviously. Has this crossed your mind before?
That is not... that my train is going somewhere else and I can't see them or what.
We're playing a game.
Yeah.
So hypothetically, if we were to tell you that, how does that feel? Does it change anything emotionally in you here and now? This is exciting, isn't it? You get to see what colors on your palette are now popping up. It's also a little bit of a trick. We will explain it later. How do you feel?
Difficult to say.
Difficult to say.
Difficult
Why?
to say.
Difficult.
It's not. I have the feeling I have trust.
Okay.
And I know, okay, when the train is going there, so my train is going there, and perhaps I have only my inner contact. Okay, then I stay with my inner contact, but my train is going there is the direction I go.
So when you're saying going there is open contact, whether it is physical or non-physical, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Is it neutral?
Of course, I would love to have a real contact,
Yes.
but when it is not on my way,
Yes.
then it is okay.
Okay, thank you. Now there's a reason why we're really digging with you here to get to this point, you see. And you're just, right now, a lot of things were shifting in you, weren't they? From the beginning of that particular question to you right now answering it, definitively.
Yes.
Because from the beginning to the ending, you went through an immense process in the background, didn't you?
Yes.
And you chose gratitude. You see how you did that? You chose gratitude. The contact that you have right now, the way you experience it right now is beautiful, right?
Yes.
And thinking of having that in that way in the future, even if it just remains that way, you know it will be beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're choosing gratitude over doubt. You call it faith. You say it is what is. Whatever will be, will be. And that shows us that you're not putting any expectations on it. And this is why we continue to say, if there's one advice that we are very passionate about giving every single one of you, it is to follow your heart, your highest excitement, in every single moment to the best of your ability, with zero insistence as to what the outcome ought to be. And you just shared with us you have no insistence. Now there was a little bit in the beginning of your answer, we sensed it from your energy frequency, but you corrected it within yourself, you course corrected yourself as you were answering, as we dug deeper with you in the question, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you brought yourself to one of the train tracks that leads to physical open contact in doing so.
Yeah.
Do you understand how that works? Now, you brought yourself there now in this dialogue. You can still kick yourself off
of
it.
course.
We're not saying this is final, you're done. You can go home, you're done, you're set. So, it continuously requires this particular type of self-investigation. Dig, 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 dig. See under the carpet, where am I coming from? Was there not still hiding a bit of insistence? Am I projecting the illusion of a happy future needing this ingredient or not? Or can it just unfold the way it will? So practically, your question in the beginning, what will it look like? There is a wide variety of ways wherein this can manifest for any given one of you. As we said before, you will create your own reality. And just as you did, you all do, with the bringing into your experiential awareness of other people, you will bring into your experiential awareness us, the same way as you do with other human beings right now, according to what is relevant for you. Now, we understand that some of you will have your fuses blown when you get in touch with us physically, and that is why most of us, as for now, are not landing en masse on your planet. Most of you are not ready for that, obviously. But on this world where all these train tracks are splitting rapidly, you will find yourself shifting from a version of Earth where there is suddenly a lot of very publicly announced UFO sightings being shared with many of you, to one where it seems that nothing is happening for months, perhaps, you see. This may fluctuate. And depending on how much and how you respond, not react, but respond to these little bits of information, you already begin shaping on a blueprint level the way your experience of open contact one day will be. Do you understand how incredibly individual and subjective this is?
Mm-hmm.
So the groups of people that eventually say, as a rough example, agree subconsciously that it would be very nice if a landing would be very beautifully organized, arranged on a public terrain, camera set up, you have it, what have you. And you might be in the crowd there, or you might be one of the people who gets to see it on their news, on the television, or however you choose to tune in with that. Then it may unfold for you primary contact, us to humanity, as in a thing that is widely being announced, publicly in that sense. You may manifest for yourself that it looks like that, but you may also manifest an encounter with one of your own hybrid children physically in your own home way before that happens. And you may touch.
This is possible.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you may hug because you're ready for that. Then we're just giving you a few examples.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in fact already happening on some places of your earth. And there are quite a few hybrid children that take a little walk around in the Amazon or wherever to set foot on your planet and feel the energy frequency of it and get gently, slowly but surely more familiar with it.
I had the information from them that they have been a long time in Peru next to the Machu Picchu.
This is one of the places where they are doing, you could say, test rounds.
Yes.
And it doesn't always mean that we are arriving with ships because we don't necessarily need them to land on your planet.
Mm-hmm.
You see. So, there's a wider range of ways wherein this can manifest for every single individual. And for a lot of people also, it will simply not be relevant at all, whether they, you could say, witness open contact in that sense in their lives or not at all. So, some of these people may witness it and it may be completely unexpected. They were living their dreams, they just never gave the idea of extraterrestrial life a second thought, or even a first. And still they may manifest that in their world, because on higher self level they understand it would add to their joy. It would add to their theme of exploration, of getting to know themselves better. They may manifest it, you could say, out of the blue. And they will still be on the train with you. If you believe that such people will be on the train with you, then they will be there. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So the more enthusiastic you are, we're just really speaking to you about having it unfold in a particular way, the more momentum you will begin to create for it to actually unfold in that way, or a version of it, you see. So you're already, all of you, every single one interested in this idea, is building the blueprint level of this event, if relevant for them, in their own particular way. But this is what we are really enthusiastic about saying. It comes from that state of non-insistence. You build it from non-insistence. You build it from daydreaming, from looking at the street and just deciding, that, for instance, that for a second, you're already that person that lives, you could say, past open contact announcements. And see people do their things as they always did. Because it won't be that much of a shock eventually. You will all remember that we've always been there. And that a lot of contact has already been taking place over the ages. You have never been alone. Mm-hmm. It will eventually, as we sense it and read the energy frequency of a bunch of versions of Earth, where it has already been announced, it will sink in much more rapidly than you can even imagine, that most people nowadays imagine it might. So the idea of the army, for instance, keeping particular pieces of information secret because they say they're afraid it will upset humanity, is more a projection of how upset they would be with how other people might respond to the army when they start putting one and one together about the army keeping secrets from them and so forth. Then how much of a protection is that? Do you understand? Mm-hmm. So, thank you. If, as you could say, a military or political system, you promise people to take care of them, but then you keep particular information back, you hold it, you withhold it from the others, and others discover there is in fact extraterrestrial life, then the relationship to these organizations will go most likely down. You could say they are being unveiled, you see? So in this case, from the many versions of Earth wherein open contact has been introduced to you, we see that most likely this will come through the people and you are gaining momentum for a more smooth, you could say, disclosure. The voices will bundle, they will become louder, they will unite. And there's a lot of playfulness around this. It is not coming from anger or disappointment. It is the exact opposite of keeping secrets. It is an open-hearted sharing with trust and faith. No insistence as to where it will go next, you see? Just sharing from pure love, enthusiasm. And that is much stronger than trying to manipulate groups and people from keeping particular pieces of information back or sharing them as a tool, you see, to manipulate even further. So for you, these are all little tiny pieces of ingredients that you get to play with. Looking at the version of Earth that you're on, you can play and manifest, pre-manifest in the blueprint level, the version of disclosure that you prefer. And then just let it go. Daydream, let it go. Fantasize, let it go. Perhaps make a painting, a drawing about it. Play around with your hybrid children, ask them their preferred version. How would you like to meet? Can you make up a storyline in your mind, in your heart, where you meet them in a particular way, in a particular circumstance? Send that image to them. You don't even really need to send it. They'll get it while you're creating it. And let it go. And just go on your path the way you usually do. Awake. Awake. Taking the hints, listening to your intuition, your inner guidance, and just see where it brings you. Because you already know with the capital K that wherever that will be, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Because you're moving upward. You're evolving, you're growing, you're taking your lessons, you're reaping the fruits, you're picking up the diamonds. It's going to be good. As long as you're not afraid to burn your hands on these fruits or on these diamonds, no matter how prickly they may look in the beginning, eventually they will love you back for the love that you sent them. And that is the transformational power of gratitude and standing in your core self. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, thank you. And happy playing with the kids.